Hi everyone, very good morning. Today we are going to cover a very interesting topic, business rule engine. Okay. We were supposed to cover the lead and referral management first, but I want to cover this topic. Lead and referral management is going to be an easy topic for us because many of us are familiar with the sales cloud and the lead processing and lead conversion. So lead and referral management is more or less like that with couple of advancement on the traditional sales cloud. So we will cover that later. We'll start with the business rule engine, and that is the only topic we will be doing today. This is a very important topic, and we will do it practically. We will use an example given by Salesforce, and we will build it in our Salesforce FSC org. Okay, so let me begin with what is business rule engine. A business rule engine in FSC is a declarative tool that lets you define and manage and execute different decision logics based on the business conditions you provide. Okay, it enables you to apply logic like if this condition is true, then do this. If that condition is true, then do that kind of steps. Or not just, this is a simple way to say this, if else logic, but then if there are complex rules and complex conditional logics required, then that can also be done in the business rule engine. So generally, when we have to do it in normally in a flow or somewhere else, we'll have to write a lot of conditions like a lot of decision element, a lot of conditioning was required on that. But with the help of business rule engine, we can delegate that work to the rule engine, and rule engine will be able to take care of that decision. What is the input and what is the output? This will simplify how we process the data and how we work with the data. We will see it shortly. But business rule engine is something which will streamline how we handle the bulk of data and then make a decision on that data. Let's say we have a Excel sheet of thousands of rows and hundreds of column. We can define what are the input field and what is the output field, what are the output field, and then based on the conditions we provide, we will be able to filter out what we need from that sheet based on how we define the logic. We will see it shortly. There are three core elements in it, and if you see the picture, there are three core elements: expression sets, decision matrix, and decision tables. Okay. Decision matrix and the decision tables are the way we provide the data, and expression sets are the kind of tool set where we define the rules in it. Let me go by the definitions of it first, and then I will show you these things. Okay. So expression set. An expression set is a group of conditional expression that evaluates to true or false, used to check logical conditions before triggering other rule evaluation or action. So expression set will basically check an expression and will give you true or false in return. Okay. Decision table is a structured set of rules that supports advanced logic. Before decision table, let's understand what is the decision matrix. Okay. A decision matrix is a rule table that maps specific input value to defined output value, allowing you to evaluate multiple conditions and returning results based on matching criteria. So in the decision matrix, let's say you have an Excel where you have three input column and one output column. Okay, it will define, okay, for what input will have this output. Okay, based on it will iterate through all the rows of that table and will give you the output. For example, if I show you this sheet, I hope you are able to see sheet 1 on my screen.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is a table where which we have three columns: authorization category, authorization type, and base fee. Okay, we named it as base application fee, and we will use it in Salesforce shortly. So if authorization category is license and if authorization is type, then base fee will be 100. Okay. Assume that authorization category and authorization type is a input field and base fee will be will be an output field. Now, let's suppose there is a flow or maybe an Omni script or maybe an LWC component where user will be providing input on authorization category and authorization type. And based on that, you will give the value of base fee automatically. Okay. Now, this sounds more like we have a custom metadata table where we have stored everything, and based on what we provide, we will be able to fetch the output. But even then also you will have to have a conditional logic, and where you define if input is this, then output will be this. Let's suppose there are thousands of such rows. And if you keep on going to do that, your apex or your flow, wherever you are providing that conditional thing, will blast because we have so many rows in it. Okay. So instead of doing that, we will use the business rule engine. We will provide what is input, what is output, and then based on what user provides, we will give the output on it. To simplify, this is the most simple example Salesforce has provided for us, and we are going to use the same way. Later on, we will move towards the more complex example as well. But for today, we will be very basic in it, and we will just do a very simple example. So, this. So, okay. So let's go to the sheet first. Okay, that is the decision matrix for you. Then we have a decision table. A decision table is a structured set of rules that supports advanced logic. Now, let's say you have a very complex table which has multiple input and multiple output. Then decision matrix will not work because decision matrix only supports a singular output. It does not support multiple output. In that case, we will be using the decision table. Decision table is a kind of advancement of decision matrix which supports the multiple output or complex output. It also allows you to do the complex conditioning on it. Okay. Once we do it via example, we will be able to understand it more. Okay. Then we have two slides on what common challenges and benefits of business rule engine. We will go through them maybe later once we do the practical side of it. So let's go to Salesforce and see this in reality. This is the, let me give you the link of this Trailhead module. We will be going to do this one only. There are multiple. I want you to do all. There are basically three main modules. I want you to do all of these. And for now, I'm not going to do these. These are based on the decision tables. And I am not going to do this today. We will do it in a practical example. But if you want to explore, you can do that. So let me share it on the WhatsApp first so that you also will have a record of it. And then we will do it. Okay. Now, because we are doing this one, let's open this. And all the definitions and everything is already there. So if you want to go through, I will also create notes for you for the business rule engine and for all other major topics. So you need not to worry about definitions and all. Okay. We will go on the practical side of it. Okay. If you see, combining together decision matrix and decision table together, they are known as the lookup table. So sometimes you will see the term lookup tables. Lookup tables means either the decision matrix or the decision table, but they both will have a kind of table like structure where you can provide input and you can define the output, and then based on those inputs and output, they will be used in an expression set which will calculate which will do the heavy lifting for you in reality. Okay, let's create one, then only we will be able to understand more about it. Okay, so we will work with the decision table first, and we will create an expression set based on a decision table. Okay, if you want, you can go to this slide there. They already have this CSV, or you can create a CSV named base application fee, and then you will be able to upload the file. Somewhere in this sheet, they have also provided the file, so you can check the file. But let us create one first. So from here, App Launcher, you will go to Business Rule Engine. And then you will have multiple options here: expression sets, lookup table, expression set template, everything. We will create a lookup table. So let's create a new lookup table. Now, the moment you create a new lookup table, you will get two options. One is the decision matrix and the other one is the decision table. You can also see the definition. Decision matrix says that an exact match based lookup that returns a single output. Okay. And decision table, a custom logic based lookup that returns one or more output sets. Okay. So currently we will be using decision matrix. So let's click on that and let's give a name base application fee. The reason why I'm using Salesforce example is because it is very basic and it will clear most of our doubts, but we will be doing more examples on it. It is like flows. The more you create, the more you will be able to understand about it. Okay, so now with one example will not be able to will not be sufficient for you in a longer run. Okay, now we will take couple of default value, then I'll explain you all other options later on. So for now, let's just select type as standard. There are other options grouped. We will not select that for now, and I will explain it to you later on once we complete this example. Now, we have created a decision matrix. Okay. Now, if you go to the related, you will see that a version 1 is automatically created. The moment you create a decision matrix, a new version will automatically be created by Salesforce for you by default. We can go there. It is not active. Now here you have options. You can upload these CSV files. Okay. Or you can add columns. We will upload the file because we already have the file. So you can go and upload file. I have already created the base application fee. So I will use that. I will share this file if you want to use the same one. Okay. Now here you will have to provide, okay, what is the input and what is the output. Authorization category is a text type of input. Authorization type is also a text type of input. Base fee is a output field and base fee is a number field. Okay. So we will save it like this. We have two input and we have one output and we will upload this.
Please share this file with us.
Yes, 100%.
Thank you.
Now, once this is done, if you go and check the details, if you check the details now, you can see that your file is now available and it is in the proper format: input data, output data, and these are the values which I shared with you on the sheet. So it uploads your file seamlessly without any problem. Now you can also add rows and add columns manually. If you want to add it here, you can definitely do that, or you can create once you activate it, you will not be able to add columns and row. Currently, it is not active, so you'll be able to do that. Okay. If you want to upload another file, maybe the new version of it, you can upload it and this one will be replaced. Okay. So now I will go to the details and I will try to. Sorry, guys. My son also wants to have a look of the table. All right, let me edit it and try to activate it. Okay, so once I activate it and refresh this, then you will not have an option to add rows and column because it's an active version. So now if you need to, then you have to create another version and then upload your file, edit your file, add rows and columns, and then activate it. But an active version of a decision matrix will not be editable. Okay, and that is logical also, right? Now, this is the decision matrix you created where we have two input and one output. They both are text and output is a number. Okay. Now step one is done. The second step is to create the expression set. Okay. If you follow the Salesforce trail also later on, they will say that orchestrate rules with the expression set. So expression sets are the place where we will be defining those rules for the use. Okay, let's go to the expression set and try to see what they are doing. Okay, I have already done this, so I might be moving fast, but don't worry about it. I will go slow, explain everything once I create an expression set. Okay, don't worry about it. Now, let us again go back to the lookup table. Here we have multiple options. So I'll click on expression set and I will click on new. Let's define the name for it. Whatever Salesforce is using, we will use the same application total fee. For now, we will select the default as the other options. Like uses is going to be default, but I will explain you what are the other options. So just don't worry about it for now. Don't worry about them. Let us see a basic version of an expression set first, and then we will drill down on other details of it. Okay, so similar to the decision matrix in the expression set also, a version will be created by default and it will not be active. We will go there. The moment you go there, it will open a panel for you where you have this whole panel to create an expression set, a flow like screen, you can say, where you can add element and you can add so many other things in the palette. Okay, so this is a new thing for us. So let us go slow and let us see what are those things. Okay, the moment you go inside, you will see on the left hand side, you have the configuration panel. On the right hand side, you have the canvas. Okay. So this is canvas for you and this is the configuration panel for you. In the configuration panel, there are multiple options like elements. There are different types of element. If you connect it with the flow, there were many elements like create record and connectors and assignment element. There were different elements available. Similar to that, here also we have multiple elements like aggregate group, branch, calculation. I will tell about each one. Don't worry about them. For now, just understand that there are multiple elements available already. Then we have a resource manager. Just like Flow, we have a resource manager by which we can add multiple resources, provide the data type and default value, everything. So we have elements, we have resource manager, we have expression set properties. So here we will be defining the properties of this particular expression set and element details. Whichever element we add here, if we click on that element, the details of that element will be visible in this panel. Currently, there is no element. That is why it is blank. So this is how we are going to use it. Okay. So let us now follow what Salesforce is asking us to follow, and then we will see how to proceed on it. Okay. Now Salesforce is creating some variables and constant in our expression set. These are the values. These are the variables they are creating. First is seating capacity. We will create it. It's a number with a 0 decimal place. So let's create a variable add resource. It's a variable. Resource name is seating capacity. Data type is number. Decimal place is 0. Default value, are they providing any? No, they're not providing. So we will also not provide. Done and new. We will create a new one. Similarly, whatever they are doing, we will be doing. Okay, so we will create 4 variables. Other one is constant. So let's create a constant. Resource name is going to be seating capacity base fee. Data type is number. Decimal places, I think, should be 0. No, 2.
Data type currency.
Okay, yes, very nice. Data type is currency, not number. That makes, okay, why decimal places are 2. Default value is 20. Okay, now done in new. The third one is additional fee, currency. It's a variable. So variable, and this default value is not provided. So it will not do anything. The last one is total fee. Okay, currency variable, same, will save it. Now, if you see the resources, you have 2 types of resources. Okay, one is local, another one is constant. Okay, so constant is going to be constant throughout your expression sheet. Local is something which maybe user will provide or the value. Okay, so it's a changeable thing. User input can change the value of it. Now, what they are doing, they are calling the decision matrix. Okay, add the decision based decision table. Yeah. So now let's work on the canvas first. Here you have option a plus. Okay, here we will click on the lookup table. The lookup table which we created in first step, that is the table which we are going to fetch here. Okay, so lookup details, here we need to provide first. Let's see if we get, yes, we will get the base application fee. This is the lookup table. This is the decision matrix we created in step 1. Okay, so but the moment you select it, it will tell you what were the input, what is the output. Okay, if you want to map these variable to any of the variable you created here in this step, you can also do that, but we don't want to do anything for now. Okay, now once we get the reference of our decision matrix, the next step is to compute the additional fee. Okay, we created a variable additional fee here. Okay, now the rule engine has defined that additional fee is going to be equal to seating capacity into the seating capacity base fee. Okay, so this is a formula they have defined. Additional fee is going to be equal to seating capacity into seating capacity base fee. They both variables we have already created, right? Additional fee we have created, seating capacity we have created, and base application fee we have created. If you see seating capacity base fee, we have already created. Okay, seating capacity base fee is a constant. The value is 20. Okay, and seating capacity is a number. Do we have the base value for it also? Like the default value? No. Okay, very nice. So let's add another option here and click on calculation. Calculation is an element type which will help us calculate our value. Okay, so additional fee, let's write additional fee here, and additional fee is going to be equals to seating capacity into, what's the value? Seating capacity base fee. Okay, we can copy this. So whatever value we provide on the seating capacity and seating capacity base fee, that will be multiplied, and that value will be the value of additional fee. Okay, that is one calculation we did. Okay, now let's add another calculation, because as per the Salesforce screen, we'll have another calculation which will say that, okay, now compute the total fee. Total fee is going to be the addition of additional fee plus base application fee. Okay, so let's do that. we have a variable for total fee. Okay, so we'll write total fee. Total fee is going to be the addition of base application fee plus additional fee. Okay, so now base application fee is the output of our decision matrix. Okay, so suppose there is a screen where user will be providing the authorization category and authorization type. This will give us the output of base fee. We will get the base fee. And in this screen itself, we have an option to provide the seating capacity. So if we get the seating capacity, we will be able to get the additional fee because the default value of seating capacity base fee is 20. So we will get, let's say we provided seating capacity as 2, we will get the value 40 here. And because we have provided authorization category and authorization type, we will get the value of base fee. Now base fee and additional fee we will calculate, and in the output we will get the total fee. So all those logics and calculations we have defined here, and based on that we will get the output. That output we will be using in some other tool, maybe in Flows, maybe in Omni Studio, maybe in some other places. Okay, we will see that in the next step. But before that, how will we decide what is output, what is input, right? We don't know this yet. So if you click on this element and go here, you can see, let us change the name of it. Calculate additional fee, and the name of it going to be calculate total fee. Okay. Now, if you click on calculate total fee, there is one option. If you go on element detail, include in output. Only and only if you click on this checkbox, then only the output of this, like output variable is total fee. Only and only then our total fee will be available as an output. Otherwise, it will not be available. I don't want additional fee as an output because our interest is to calculate the total fee. So I will make total fee as a output variable, and I will click on this checkbox, and then only it will be passed to other tools where we'll be going to use this. Okay, and I will save this. Now, if we go and check the expression set properties, the version number by default will be 1, and we'll also have to provide a rank. Okay, if you go and check that, an expression set version with the higher rank value is chosen for a execution when multiple active versions overlaps in their date and time period, because there are there can be multiple expression set available, and based on date and time there can be an overlapping phase where there are two expression sets which are active. In that case, you will also have to provide the rank. If you will not provide rank, you will not be able to activate it. So for now I am providing it a rank 1. Don't get confused on it. For now, just understand that highest rank will be executed if in case there are multiple active versions available on any expression set. We are not playing with date anyway, so there is no point, but we have to understand that rank is important for us to be able to activate it. Now, simulate is a way by which you can check the behavior of this expression set. So if I go and simulate it, it will ask me to provide the authorization category, authorization type, and seating capacity. Those three are the input field because we need seating capacity to calculate the additional fee, and we need authorization category and authorization type to calculate the base fee. Okay, so we will copy the value from our table. Let's say barber's license is the authorization type, and license is the text, is the authorization category, and let's say seating capacity is 2. So if you calculate, Seating capacity is 2. The base value of the fee was 20, so it will be 40. And for the barber's license row, we will get 100 as a output, 100 as a base fee. So result should be 140 and we will get the result. So it is a flow-like structure which will run. It will tell you what input you provided, what output variable you got based on those inputs, and then how the additional fee was calculated, and then how the total fee was calculated. So this will tell you everything. If you want to see it in the JSON format, what is the input and what is the output, that's how you will be able to get it. Okay, so this is a long JSON because there are multiple steps you have executed, and this will show you all these steps. Okay, so I will go. There are two options. One is the concise view and other one is the detailed view. We always check the detailed view. Go back. And now we'll have to activate it. So I'm going to activate it. Now that
Um,
yes, please go ahead.
Sorry, it was by mistake.
Okay, okay. So I have activated it now. And then we have a final step. The final step done by Salesforce is done by the Omni Studio. We have not covered Omni Studio yet, so I'm not going to cover it via Omni Studio. Instead, I will be doing it via a screen flow. So we are familiar with screen flow, most of us, and I'll be doing a very basic screen flow so that we need not to rush through the Omni Studio. All they have done is that they have created a screen where whatever we simulated here as an input and output, we'll be able to provide a user a way to provide an input, and then based on that, we will be getting the same output, the same 140 output which we got in the simulate option. That's what we will be going to try and do in the screen flow. This will also show you how we practically use these expression set, or this will also show you how we can use the expression sets in Salesforce flows. Okay, so let's go to setup and create a screen flow first. Okay. Anyone who is not familiar with the screen flow? Do we have people who are not familiar with the screen flow at all? Nice. Let's go to flow. We'll have a whole flow related topic as well in the FSC. So we will do it one. But for this, we'll create a very basic screen flow. Let's create it from scratch, call it calculate total fee. Now here, first I'll create a screen where user will be able to provide the values on those input field. Okay, so let's label it as calculate provide fee details. Okay, and then I want to have couple of text field. Let's call it authorization. Those were the headers, right? Sorry. Authorization category and authorization type. Okay. So authorization category. It's a required field. Then we have another one. Type. It's also a required field. And then we have another input field, which is the seating capacity, right? So we will add a seating capacity. It is also a required field. Okay, so these three are our input fields. If we provide value in these fields, we can use them later. Now, how do we get the expression set? If we type expression, we will not get anything. If we type decision, we will not get any decision matrix at all. So how do we get it? We'll click on actions. Then action will open so many other things for us. Here we will write the expression, and you can see that there are multiple expressions you are able to see. The one which is related to us is the application total fee. This is our expression set. I will click on it, and this will give us, provide the label and everything. Let's call it application fee expression. Now it will be asking for multiple inputs because this expression set has these values as a input fields. Okay. So let's provide values in it. Authorization category. Let's provide whatever value we have given in the screen to this particular field. Okay. So we will take the value from screen, authorization category. For the authorization type, let's take from screen authorization type and seating capacity as a screen. We have seating capacity. Okay, it's a text field. That is why it is not allowing us. Seating capacity is definitely a number field, not a text field. So let's go and add a text field, sorry, number field. That is why this option was not visible, because the expression set variable is of number type. Okay, so let's call it seating capacity. Let's call it version 2. Save it as a required field. Click on done. Go back to expression set. Provide fee details, and seating capacity is now available because now it's a number field. Now here we'll provide the values to whatever value expression set requires. You remember we selected um, calculate total fee, and this total fee was the output variable. This output variable will be the outcome of this expression set. So in return, we will get the value of total fee on this element. Okay. And then maybe in the next step, let us just add a screen and show that total fee screen, and maybe just add it as a text field or display text. Value total fee. So application fee expression is your expression, and dot total fee is the output of it. We will add the value as the this number. So okay, so that is what we are going to display here. I'll click on done. I'll click on save, and let's call it calculate fee. Save it and activate it. Okay, let's see directly in the Salesforce screen rather than debugging it. So let's go to uh, our very own wealth management. Now let's add this in the record, any of the record, we'll add it and then we will remove it later on. I want all of you to do this today itself. It's because we have done a very basic uh, example, but even if you do it, with this example, it will give you a huge boost. Like this is something new you learned today, and then when we do a bigger or can say a complex example, then that day you will be more confident. Let's see. How do we add flow? First, you will not get your flow directly here. So don't try to write the name of your flow directly. You will not get. First, you will have to add the flow element. And then inside the flow element, you will get to select the name of your flow. So our name is calculate total fee. We will add calculate total fee, save it. Now we have done a very basic flow, which is not checking any input and output, and it is not validating anything. But in reality, we will validate so many other things. If entries is not there for those authorization code and categories, we will display the errors as well, or we will have the fault element added for those things, or error screen added for that also. We are doing just the happy path, so that is why we are not displaying any such thing. Now we will select a valid input. Let's select this one. It's an establishment license and go to Salesforce. Authorization category license, authorization type is, and seating capacity, let's say, is 2. So 2 into 20 will be 40, and here 150 should give, I think, 190. Yep. If you see, we've got the calculated total fee as 190 rupees. That's what it was supposed to calculate for us. Now, if you think of doing it inside the flow directly, you can say that what was the need of expression set? Can't we do all this whole calculation in flow? Yes, of course you can do that. It just streamlined your process and made things very easy for you to do it in the flow. Otherwise, you will write in your flow multiple conditional element if authorization type is license and if the authorization category is salon, then output will be this, and then if this is this, then that, and all those complex things will be there in the flow, which will make your flow very complex and tiresome. Yes, Manjunath, please tell me.
Yeah, we are using that. I mean, what is it? That the input table, whatever we are giving from the Excel sheet,
Yes,
in this, what is it? That we have this expression set.
those
So,
this,
uh,
yeah, yeah.
instead, is it only the way we have to give, or we can give the metadata? Like assume that we have a custom settings or custom metadata.
Mhm.
Can we refer that here or?
No, this will take either your decision table or the decision matrix. And expression set makes the output or the decide based on the decision matrix or decision table. That is why these three tools are interconnected with each other: decision matrix, decision table, and expression set. Combining these three will make it the business rule engine. So we will not be able to use the metadata. Okay.
Okay, fine. And one more thing, after this, if you just overview us like how we can call through Omni script, is just overview that helps us.
Yeah, instead of creating the Salesforce screen, create a Omni script, Omni Studio script screen. Okay, where there'll be three input type like
Mm.
operation code, category, and seating capacity, and then just pass those. So if you want to understand it from the Omni script point of view and already know the basics of it, this is for you.
Yeah,
I
okay.
To simplify things for rest of the folks who are not comfortable with the Omni script yet. That is why I have created it in the screen flow. Otherwise, ideally, we should be doing it in the Omnis.
Okay. Okay, they have just used the inputs as a text here and they're passing it.
Yeah.
And how they're calling that expression set here?
You will be able to find it.
Okay, okay.
You'll be able to find, if you see this yellow one, you'll
You
be
have
able.
the action.
Yes. So once we complete the Omni script, we will again do, see, the next step here is we will again do the business rule engine. We will again do a new expression set, but this time we will be using the decision table. Currently, we are using a decision matrix, which is very basic element of it. Decision tables, however, can support multiple outputs at a time. Okay, so we will do one example via the decision table as well, but we will use the screen flow. But once we complete the Omni Studio, we will come back to it and we will do one example via Omni script also. Okay. So that, see here you can see where you can integrate the business rule engine in the Salesforce flow, Omni Studio and custom or third party tool via the Connect API. This is something which we will have to do right now, not right now, but we will do it so that you also understand how to use the Connect API here. Okay. For now, we have just done it via the Salesforce flow because I know most of us already know what Salesforce flow is. Many of us don't know what Omni Studio is. So let me first cover that in couple of sessions and then we will do it via Omni Studio as well. Now, when I started this, there were multiple things I just took by default and did not explain. Okay, so let me come back to those things and maybe try to explain those things because the example is done. Example is very basic, but then when you created a decision table, there were multiple options and it is very important that I explain those things as well. So first we created a lookup table. Let's try to create a new lookup table. We created a decision matrix. We will create a new decision matrix. We provided a sample name. We can give any name, test 2. We selected type as a standard. The other value of type is grouped. See, currently we have a very basic table and it is okay if we run through the whole table and because every row is unique. Now assume that there is another column as country. For every country, we will be repeating these three or three authorization types. So for India, there'll be three row. For let's say Australia, there'll be 3 row. For US, there'll be 3 rows. So there is another column, country, and based on country, we will be repeating these three. Our list will become very heavy, and because we know that if user can provide the input in the country field, or if we can group this particular table via the country, then we need not to go through the whole table. Let's say if the user provided India as a country value, then we need to check only the rows associated with the India. We need not to traverse through the rows which are associated with any other country. So with the help of grouping, we will be able to iterate through this list very fast because now we know that we just need to check the rows which are associated with India country. We need not to go through any other countries related rows. This will execute fast. This will improve the execution time as well because in a real scenario when we have millions of data, going through whole data will make your expression set perform very slow. Okay, so grouping is an additional way. If we have a particular way to group the data, we will use the grouping to improve the speed to get the faster results and to basically improve on everything. Okay, so grouping is a way to do that. Let's say if we have country and if user is providing the data in it, then it will make our job easy. That is what grouping is all about. So if we select grouped, then we will have to provide a group key and subgroup key. Subgroup key is not mandatory, but group key is mandatory if you select the type as grouped. Group key will be nothing but the country, the column, the name of the column, whichever you have as a group. So in this case, let's say country is a column, then you will have to provide the country as a value here. Now, let's suppose that after country, we have state also. And in the state also, we will be repeating these three rows for each state in the country. Then we can have the further subgrouping based on the state. So in that case, we can go for the subgroup key and provide state here. So this is nothing but to group your data in a meaningful manner so that execution engine will take those grouping related columns, take those grouping related information from the user, and will not execute the whole table, but just the table or just the rows which are associated with these group key and subgroup key. It is not necessary that you use both of these key. If you just want to have one level of grouping, just use group key and execute it. Okay, so that is the definition of it. For now, we have just used the standard and we will keep it that way until we create a decision matrix which is based on the group key. But if somebody wants to explore it on their own, that is the definition, and you will get the examples as well in the Salesforce developer document related to the FSC. Okay. It's just that sometimes you will not be able to get the exact definition of group key or subgroup key. So sometimes you'll have to do some R&D or some brainstorming around it. But if you get anything which you are not able to identify, find the definition or anything, just ping me. I will try to find it from all the places and sources we have, and then I will provide you that. As far as the business rule engine concerned, do not worry about the any definition. I will create my notes on it. I'm in mid of it. Once I complete it, I will share it with you. All the tags and definitions and columns you see here, I will provide the definition to avoid the further confusion, because that is the gap I see in the Salesforce document. They have not provided the definition for any of those things. They have just provided the process, how it works, but they have not provided the definition for like why there are two options, standard and group, and what is the group option. So I think they expecting you to do it practically and then understand the difference between them. Okay, so that is what we have here. Then the next thing we did was created an expression set. Sorry, created a, yes, expression set. So we will create a new expression set and we will call it test version 3. I actually don't want to create the expression set, but want to explain you all the options available here. Okay. Now there are two options. One is the uses type and the other one is context definition. See, when I learn any topic and I see these things, I see this is new. And when Salesforce say that, okay, just select the default and continue, if I have other options here in the picture, I cannot go past it. Like I need to know why there are options and what is the actual context of the users type or why we use users type. So that is why when I come up with those questions, I feel that you will also have such questions, and then I start exploring that. So default will create a blank expression set for you where you will be doing everything from scratch. But these are the already defined users type, already defined by Salesforce FSC. If you select any of the already defined users type, then the variables or the local variables or the constant associated with these users type will already be created in your canvas. So you need not to create them from scratch. Like, let's say if you select something like financial service cloud, okay, and click on save. If I go there, and if I click on resources, that is strange. Just give me a second, guys. Users type is financial service cloud, does not have anything. So I'll have to select something else. Just give me a second, guys. I just want to see a thing which I checked. So that is. Give me a second, guys. Let's select user type as default and context definition. Okay, whatever I was telling you, that is the context definition. Okay, see, users type is nothing but the tagging of it. Okay, if you want to tag this particular expression set for a particular users type, like this, whatever I'm creating is only for the financial service cloud, then you can do that by using the users type. Okay, otherwise, if you want it to be available for whole org, then you can do it as a default. But if you want to target with a particular type of users like FSC or production qualification or something else, you want to have an additional tagging on your expression set, you can use the users type. What I was telling you earlier is the context definition. Context definition is something which Salesforce has already created, and all the associated variables and everything will already be created in your canvas for you. So if I select the, let's say, brokerage policy context, it represents a standard context definition used to retrieve. Context definition used to retrieve and manage policy data. So if you select this and click on save, open this, you will see that there are 49 variables already created. There are multiple insurance policy related variables already available there. There are multiple insurance rate plans already available there. You can check them, what kind of data it is, and if it is in input and output both. Those things are already created by Salesforce for you, because they know that if you are creating something for, let's say, insurance policy, you will be needing that. It does not mean you cannot create more. You can definitely create more, but this will help you that all the basic things are already set up for you to create something on the insurance. So these are the two things: users type and context definition. Users type is nothing but an additional level of tagging or layer of tagging for your expression set. But context definition contains the definitions and proper all the widely used variables you can use in that particular expression set. So if in case you are not sure, just use the default, and for the context definition, don't use anything. Just click on none. That will create a blank canvas for you, and you can then use it from there. Okay. So these were the two things I wanted to highlight when we do the expression set.
Is it only the resources, or we do have any standard out of the expression sets for this specific business line?
Sorry, I did not get Manjunath.
The resources what you have showed right now, right, which is already available where we can use it, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. But business, I mean, like whatever we want the functionality to achieve, that is not been defined there. We are just making use of the resources which is predefined or which is available.
Yep.
So is there anything similar like that? We have expression sets with the business being used. Like in the flows, we have the out of the box, right? For some of the flows, if we activate, that will do this functionality, like assume that activation of the card and creation of the customer. If we have some out of the box flow that have the functionality, in the same way we have for the
Yep.
expression
Yes.
set.
All these are already created by Salesforce for us in the FSC to use. We will be using many of the expression sets by default, which are running in the running and created by Salesforce for us. So these, whatever you see here, we have not created them. These all were created by Salesforce for us to be able to use. If it is not able to satisfy our need, then we will be creating our custom one. But there are many expression sets Salesforce has already created. If you see this one, determine unsecured loan maximum eligible amount. So this is the you can see this is a complex one where we have multiple lookup tables. So many lookups tables to take input from, output from, and then we will get the output. So if you see, first is credit score, where we have a lookup table, credit score category. Credit score is the input field, and this will give us the category of that particular credit score, like in which category this credit score is falling, average, good, poor, those kind of stuff. Okay. Then requested term category, whatever term category the maybe the customer has requested. Then annual income category, whatever annual income it provides, the system will categorize it based on the that output table given here. Okay, so that's how we are going to do it. Here we are not doing any calculation, just looking up the table, using the input from one table in the other tables and getting the output from multiple table. Okay, so Salesforce has created many of those expression set for us to use, and we will be creating custom as well whenever we will be needing based on our use cases. Okay. Or we can take the hints from it, save it as a new version, and additionally add more calculations on it as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so it's a very good feature. Business Rule Engine is a very good feature. This is going to help us a lot in terms of calculations, in terms of making the decisions based on the multiple inputs and multiple output. We will next week also, we will start with the Business Rule Engine, but this time we will be starting with the decision table, which supports the multiple output at a time. Okay, so we will do the decision table first, and we will create another business rule engine or as another expression set with us. But the prerequisite of that will be that you have completed this particular exercise. Don't follow my video if you want. If you don't want to, just do this trailhead module, the first one, business rule engine, that will explain everything. Okay.
One last question.
Yes, please. 100%. Tell me.
We have a started and ended, right? There, while you are showing in the expression set, there is a started and ended. I'm able to correlate this with one of the live use cases. Like we have a big sale day, assume that via Flipkart or whatever, Amazon, whoever up. So during that time only will this be enabled, and after that, even though it is active or inactive, will it be won't be impacting?
See, let's say we have created a discount calculator. Okay. And business has defined a rule that in Q1, let's say we'll have different discount, in Q2 we'll have different, in Q3 we'll have different. Okay. So they have created a 3 different version of it, a particular expression set. Okay. Now, first version will only work within Q1, and at the end of Q1's last date, it will get deactivated, or the next version will have a starting date from, let's say, Q2's first date. Okay, so by default it will pick the Q2's expression set when we come on that date. So that is how in the backend they can set up the different versions. They all can be active at a time, but the actual activation will happen whenever that meets the date criteria of it. Okay.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Would you be, Nikita is asking, would you be able to cover decision explainer as well? Yes, I will be covering that also, Nikita. In the next session, we will be doing that, and I will explain you that.
Sure, thank you.
There is a question from Avinash. In a real-time scenario, can we call a flow from quick action and use the business rule engine inside that flow to make a process dynamic and user-driven? See, I will have to see. Are you asking that can it be used in a different type of flow like auto launched or flow?
It's kind of created like just
Yeah, you clicked on quick action, and then expression set will run in the backend to give you the output of it, right?
yeah.
The only problem is that here our expression set was dependent on some of the input. So that is why we asked the user to provide that input. I'll check that. If we can have an expression set which does not require input, why will we not have? We'll see that. Okay. If you want to see if this is available in other types of flow, we can quickly check that. Okay. let's say you have a record triggered flow.
You're sharing the screen?
Oh, sorry. I think I closed that. Let me share it again. Huh? Okay. So what we are seeing here is we want to check if this will be available in the other type of flows or not. Yes, expression sets will be available in the record triggered flow also. Okay. So
But in case of quick action, can we call from projection?
sorry, well, your voice is breaking. I am not able to understand. Can you repeat again?
1 second.
He is asking, can we call that from the flow? Quick actions.
Yeah, I'm asking, can we call this from quick action? Yeah, we'll create flow. Yes, we can call flow from quick action, right? So if we can call
Yeah.
flow from quick action, then this can also be done. What we are checking here is that if these expression sets will only be available for screen flow or other types of flow as well. They'll be available for other type of flows as well. It's just that these expression set requires some input. So if not user given, then we'll have to pass it via an apex class or however you want to define it, but you'll have to provide these value in order for these expression set to be able to take a decision. Okay, so you can pass it as an apex variable also, or maybe if you have your trigger has those value, this trigger is on account, and if that account has those values stored somewhere. See, the whole logic here is that to store this as a table and take the output from that table without doing much of the calculation, without doing much of the filtering. That is why we are using the expression set. But if we can do it within, yes, 100% we can use these expression set in the other type of flows as well. So we can do that. Even when you want to make it dynamic, you'll have to find a way to provide values in these fields. Okay, if your quick action is able to provide the value, or if you have set up some dummy value, this will work. It will, if it gets the value, input value, it will be able to give you the output value. Okay. All right, so I will not be covering anything else along with the business rule engine, because I feel that this is the only topic I want you to cover today. I don't want to rush through finishing other topic on it. I want to remain in the business rule engine for next week, at least on Saturday, to cover another business rule engine with the help of decision table. But I want all of you to practice and check this on your own as well. Maybe try different scenario, maybe first try this scenario and then try different scenario, whichever you can. And I am yet to give assignment on action plan, so I will give it today. Okay.